Welcome back. I'm Sandy with Sandy's Organized Chaos, and it is vlog day. So happy to see every single one of you. Okay, first things first, I finished those tumblers, okay? I said I would, all right? So here's this one. It says, "In a field of roses, she is a wild flower." So that's what I did with that. That's how I finished that guy up. So sparkly, ooh. All right, and then my next one, my ocean one that we did, I put "The voice of the ocean speaks to the soul." That's what I put on there. So that's how I finished those two up. Don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep them or do a giveaway. I'll let you guys know for sure, but I haven't decided yet. So like I said, I'll keep you posted. I also have my tumbler that I did on Friday. There it is, all sparkly. I really love these colors. These are some of my, the moonstone, so pretty. And you can really see that opal foil. See how you can see it down in there? I just really feel like it gives a lot of contrast to everything and just kind of gives it just a little bit of extra. Now, if I had to sum up my 3 favorite colors, I think I wore this last week. I promise I washed it. Okay, I didn't just like wear it all week and then back anyways. But if I had to sum up my 3 favorite colors, it would definitely be magenta, lavender, and a coral. Those are my personal 3 favorite colors. What are your 3 favorite colors? Or do you have like a set color, like you're always drawn to it and you always tend to do certain tumblers in that color? Do you guys do that? Let me know. Okay, so the thing that we're going to be getting started on this week, just a little side project that I'm doing. So Molly's birthday, she's turning 10 at the beginning of March. And we've been planning this for a year because I turned 40 this year, which my birthday isn't until April, which is a month after hers. But we decided we're going to celebrate together with her turning 10 and me turning 40. So we decided to celebrate together, and we are going to be going to Disney. We're going to be taking a 3-day vacation to Disney. It's just going to be me, Jeff, and Sadie, Molly, and Delilah. Charlotte's going to stay here with the grandparents, but we've been planning this for a year now. We knew what we wanted to do. We knew how we wanted to celebrate it, you know, so that's what we're going to be doing. And I thought I wanted to make up some tumblers, matching tumblers for me and the girls. And well, Jeff's not gonna, his isn't gonna match, but it'll still kind of go with everything. But I figured he needed one as well. So I'm just really excited. It's coming up soon. I can't believe it. I guess today is the Super Bowl. I don't really watch sports, so if you're into sports, I hope your team scores lots of goal units. Yay. But I don't really do sports and stuff, but I would like to watch the halftime show. I hear lots of not old, I don't think they're that old, but like from the 90s, you know, lots of people are going to be doing the halftime show. So I would like to watch that. I'm curious, you know. But other than that, I have all this other stuff that I got to get finished up. So today we're going to be getting started on some tumblers for me and the girls, and Jeff's tumbler as well. That's pretty much what I'm doing today. All right, so anyways, we have a lot of stuff to do, all right? So I got some tumblers. I got some tumblers that I finally finished. And I'm ready to wake up, prep these tumblers, and slay all day. Let's do this. All right, so the glitter that I'm using today, I actually mixed up this custom mix months ago. I think it was back in November when I mixed this up. And the reason why I hadn't put it out for purchase yet or anything, or put it in my box yet, was because it's just not enough. It was just one of those mixes that I was kind of like playing around with, you know? And then I was going through my glitter the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, right. It was like on the very bottom of my bins and I found it and I was like, right, I have this mix. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and use it today because I've been really wanting to use it. but I don't know what to do with it yet because, like I said, it's not enough to put in my boxes. I need a lot more of this to be able to put into my boxes. So I'm still on the fence if I'm just going to bottle it up and it'll be like a custom limited mix type thing, and then I'll make up more to be able to, have more on hand. I don't quite know yet. I'm just letting you guys know, okay? All right. Anyways, moving on. So I picked out 4 skinny tumblers and I actually did them with the screw top lid because I really like how the screw top lids have the straw that can go in the middle, because I purchased these cute little bows to go on top. Like I said, I'll show you guys, don't worry. Next week, we're going to finish this up because I'm not going to be able to finish this all today with these ones, but I'm going to go ahead and apply my glitter with the epoxy method. Now for my base, you can use like whenever you're using like rose or rose gold or anything like that, you can use like a brown color. This is just that blush, vintage blush, I believe it's called, by Rust-Oleum, but I know that's really hard to find right now. And I know Pop of Color, they sell a color that looks pretty much just like this color. I believe it's called blush. I don't know. But you can find those pop of colors, or you can just use any type of paint that you have, however you guys want to do it. But I'm going to go ahead and apply my glitter. Now, I showed you guys the other day how I like to apply my chunky. I like to apply a little bit more epoxy than usual. It just really helps out those chunkies lay completely flat once you go to apply the glitter here. As you can already see, it's already pretty much flat as it is. Like, look at that. I don't even have to tap that down. But because I apply a little bit more epoxy than usual, I am going to have to turn it on my turner for a little while to make sure that it doesn't shift around whenever I go to, you know, place it down. You guys know what I'm saying. You get it. You understand. Anyways, I'm so sorry that I've been sitting on this color. It is such a beautiful color. I'm sorry. It's like a holographic, I wouldn't say rose gold. I don't have gold in there, but it's definitely like a rose color with like opals in it. It is very pretty. I'm sorry. All right, all 4 of those are done. I'm gonna let those turn and cure, and then now they're cured, voila. And I'm gonna add some rainbow ears onto them. Now, when I'm adding shapes onto my tumbler where I just want like a little bit of it, I'm gonna actually add that into my epoxy that I'm gonna put over top of the raw glitter, and that's really gonna help disperse those shapes, and it's also gonna cover them as well, so that way, once this portion is cured, you'll be able to move right on to that next step without having to worry about it. But I know sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, what am I even going to do with these shapes? But this is a great way to do it. And this is how I've been doing it whenever I do it this way. It depends on how I do it, but see how it's all nice and in there. Now, as I go, I do have to constantly kind of kick it up because they start to sink to the bottom as I'm going. So you just want to make sure you have your stick on hand and kind of kick it up as you go. So that way those shapes come back up to the top as you're pouring the epoxy over top of your raw glitter. So I did go ahead and I sprayed these down really good with my Rust-Oleum 2x ultra clear, so that way that epoxy would stick to everything and not wick away and cause those fish eyes. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what those shapes look like over top. The reason why I chose the rainbow shapes, I just thought it was kind of fun, and I just thought it would go with kind of everything that I'm doing. Like I said, I'll make sure to finish this up with you guys and you guys see how I finish these up. So I'm almost done applying my epoxy here, and then I'll kind of hold it up to the camera. And I think at the end too, I'll probably hold it up for you guys too, because they'll probably be cured by the time I do all this. But you see how the shapes are all like nice and separated. You don't have to worry about it. Instead of sprinkling it on top and doing another coat of epoxy before you can do anything, that's why I like doing it this way. Now, what I was talking about earlier is depending on how I apply it. Like if I do an ombre, I want my shapes to kind of go on the bottom, then I will sprinkle it over the top, so that way it doesn't get on the top half where I don't want it. So like I said, it really all depends on what you want to do. So with all my leftover epoxy, after I do up my tumblers, I'm going to go ahead and put it into my coaster tray here. The reason why I do this is I really enjoy kind of playing around when I go to do this because I have an opportunity to kind of play around with my inks and kind of see how things look. So I went ahead, and this is just me playing around with my inks and seeing how it's going to turn out. I've done this since I've started, and like I said, it's just a great way to kind of develop your skills with your alcohol inks and see what looks good and what doesn't look good. So I'm going to go ahead and let that cure along with the tumblers, and then we'll be able to see what this looks like tomorrow. Look at the sparkle, so pretty. I just sometimes I'll stand in my garage and just kind of watch them turn and just watch the sparkle. I don't know what my problem is. I just like that kind of look. All right, it was the next day, and I'm going to go ahead and unmold this and see how this turned out. It did kind of stick just a little bit, but I think it's because my coaster mold, I've had this coaster mold for like 4 years now. I think it's time for me to get a new one, but you see, I think it's starting to lose its elasticity. But here's how that turned out. As you see, I think I might have added a little bit too much of my white, but that's okay. I still feel like it looks really cool, and I know the kids would still enjoy using that. All right, mine and the girls' tumblers are all done, and I'm just going to show you guys these colors here in a second. So I really, really like how those rainbow colors kind of reflect on it. I was kind of on the fence. I thought about using my opal ears that I have, but I wanted it to really pop through because, like I said, I'll show you guys next weekend exactly how I finish these up. All right, so we're going to move on to Jeff's tumbler now. So Jeff's tumbler, I want to make sure that no glitter gets on this tumbler, okay? I know he's around all of us girls and all that, but I know he would like a tumbler that doesn't have glitter on it. So anytime I do a non-glitter tumbler, I really wipe my space down, clean it up really good, and make sure that, or try to make sure, absolutely no glitter is going to get onto it. So it'll be the only tumbler that I actually do. So that way I make sure nothing accidentally transfers over to the non-glitter tumbler. So I went ahead and spray painted his tumbler black, and I actually let that sit for 24 hours because I knew I was going to be doing a peekaboo with his. So I already have my image cut out here, and I'm using, it's not permanent, semi-permanent, there we go. I'm using my semi-permanent vinyl to be able to put on there. And this was kind of, if you look at the shape of the tumbler, you see that I'm going to have to probably cut this apart in order to be able to fit everything on there, which I'm perfectly fine with. I'm kind of used to it. So I'll show you guys here in a second exactly how I put my stencil on there. But when I seen this image, I laughed so hard because I was like, this is it. This is perfect for his tumbler. Not only does it look like him, but he is footing the bill. So it's my birthday and Molly's birthday. Of course, he's footing the bill. So I just thought this was absolutely perfect for his tumbler. And I thought so hard on this because I wanted to make sure that it was like a guy's cup, he'd want to carry it around. And I wanted to make sure it looked manly, but still Disney. You know what I'm saying? So I thought long and hard about this, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep it very simple. So like I said, I decided I'm going to be doing this peekaboo, and then I'll show you exactly what I do to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut off this top image here because that's going to go on the top, and the words are actually going to go about where the curve starts on the tumbler. So that's why I went ahead and separated it. It would just be too hard for me to try to do it all in one go. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my top image here, and then I'm going to add the words to the curve in the middle there. So after that's applied, I'm going to come through and I'm just going to see exactly where I want it. And I figured out I'm pretty much going to have to slice it all in between here. You see me slicing it. I'm going to go ahead and peel it off its backing here, and then I'm going to start laying it down. So those slits that I made go almost to the very center of each sentence or each line that I did. So the first thing I did was just go ahead and do up the top line itself. I did accidentally make I'm just a little bit crooked, but it's for Jeff. It's fine. You guys probably honestly wouldn't have noticed either after I'm all done, but still, I noticed it. It's all good. So I went ahead and just laid everything down flat and straightened it out, and there we go. Now, I also decided to add some Mickey ears all the way around because, like I said, I'm going to be doing this kind of burly, distressed look on top. So I went ahead and added these Mickey ears all the way around it as well. Now, after it was all said and done, I do wish I would have added just a couple more around the front to kind of make it go a little bit more, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. All right, now we're outside. It's like 4 or 5 in the morning. I have some yellow. It says it was like a peach color, but it was actually yellow. And so I'm actually going to take my spray paint and I'm just going to spritz that all over the ears and on the image itself on the front. And I was actually having an issue with my can. It was kind of not going very well, but it actually looked fine in the end. I was a little worried. I was like, oh no, my spray paint's messing up. But after I shook it a couple more times and kind of cleared out the nozzle, it started spraying just fine. So I'm going to make sure that I leave a little bit of that black background on it and just kind of do bursts of it all over the place. And then I'm going to come through with a red as well. Now I have this issue when it comes to making tumblers that I just completely overthink everything, and I just try to do way too much, and I just need to try to keep it simple because honestly, any time that I do the simplest thing, it honestly comes out so much better than something that took so much more time and thought put into it. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying, but I just couldn't believe when I first thought of this, I was like, I don't need to think too much into it. And it's honestly, I really love it. And I would actually carry it around, obviously with a different decal on the front, because I'm not a bearded guy, but I just need to stop thinking so hard into stuff and just keep it simple because those always turn out the best. But I'm just going to go back and forth with these colors, kind of distressing it. Because my first initial idea was to kind of do the Dawn Power Wash over it. And I was like, you know what? No, we're just going to, like I said, keep it simple, right? We're just going to do this. But this is pretty much similar to what I'm going to be doing with mine and the girls' cups as well. It's not going to be these colors, but it's going to be very similar to what I'm doing here as well on our cup. So after I kind of got everything mixed up and I realized there was kind of like splatters on it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add some splatters to it as well. And I'm going to show you guys how I like to do my splatters. So I just kind of hold, I know it's off screen, I'm sorry. I think one of them I actually do where you can see it, but I just hold my nozzle down until it just starts to splatter out paint rather than do like a full-on thing of paint. You just hold it till it just starts to splatter out, and then I'm just going to put that all over the tumbler. And then I'm going to come through with the yellow and do the same exact thing. So that way a little bit of that yellow is up on the red in the same exact manner. And I kept forgetting about the handle. And then finally at the end, I was like, all right, the handle, I should probably do something to it. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to be able to show you guys a little bit better. So you just hold it down. See, it starts to go and just lightly let go until it just starts to splatter. And there you go. Now you're going to have that really cool splatter effect without having to do anything weird with a paintbrush or anything. It's all in one go. So now I'm just going to let that not cure. I'm going to let that dry probably for about 30-40 minutes. I let that dry because I loaded up the paint quite a bit. And now is the time we're going to go ahead and start peeling back these decals. And I absolutely love how this looks already. I am so in love with it. I should make up more of these. I don't know. So because we used not permanent vinyl, we used our vinyl that could be removed easily. I'm forgetting how to say it. It came off really easily. So I'm going to go ahead and peel these back, and I really love how that black just really shines through. It just gives it such a really cool look. Now, when I was working on these words, that's the only bad part about doing peek-boos. It's like, oh my goodness, these little words. I was doing it with my tweezers, and then I just reverted back to how I always did it. I just scrape it with my fingernail. Comes off a lot easier. I don't know, it's just me. All right, so now here's the big reveal. We're going to go ahead and peel back the main decal here. But I'm absolutely pleased with just how this came out and just how simple it was. What do you guys think? Do you think it turned out okay? I hope so, because I really like it. But it was just so simple and so easy to do. And honestly, if I had my shop open, these would definitely be on my shelf. And I'd be so excited to make these for people because I really, it's so hard for guy cups, you know, it really is. So, like I said, this could be done in any type of manner. It doesn't have to be a Disney cup, you know, you could put other things in there too, but I really, really like how this turned out. Now I'm just ready to apply a coat of epoxy over this, try my hardest, like I said, to not get glitter into it, and then it'll be ready to be able to be used for our trip. Okay, so with the kids one, they're pretty much like ready to have the next portion done to it, but I think I'm gonna hold off till next week, and we'll finish these up together next week. But I really like how that turned out so far. Again, I'm gonna be doing it kind of similar to how Jeff says. We'll see. I'll show you guys, don't worry. And Jeff's also was ready to come off the turner because I went ahead and I already put a coat of epoxy over his because it was super simple. It was just paint pretty much. So I am so excited for his tumbler. I am so happy with how this turned out. This is exactly what I imagined. Because, you know, it had to be burly. It had to be manly. And he is the one footing the bill. So it kind of looks like him too. That's how he looks with his sunglasses and his little Mickey ears on. That's how he'll be looking. But I really, really like how that turned out with the red and the yellow. I think it's perfect. It's not, you know, too girly. It's Jeff, you know, and I really like how those splatters turned out too. I really, really like it. Because I was kind of on the fence, like, what am I going to make him? That kind of goes with ours, but, you know, is his own thing, you know? And I just love how this turned out. Perfect. All right, so next weekend we'll finish up those. I'll show you guys that one more time too when they're all done together. All right, well, I think that's gonna do it for me for today. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. I don't know if you're watching the Super Bowl or not, so I don't wanna hold you up or anything. But I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night. Have an amazing Valentine's Day and an amazing week. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.